next generation.
Oh, really cool shot of her elementary school.
Ooh, a little different than basketball press conference. A lot of media in here today. I guess I'm gonna start with y'all today, right now. First off, I just thank y'all for covering me and all the exposure that you gave me, my family.
I think more than anything, I'm just really excited. I think this is a dream. This is something I wrote down on a piece of paper when I was in second grade, get a basketball scholarship, play in the WNBA. This is always something I wanted to do.
Caitlin Clark has finally had it with the WNBA, and she's calling out the corruption that's been brewing behind the scenes for months. From being sidelined, snubbed, and targeted since the moment she got drafted, Caitlin's watched as Brittney Griner gets handed every spotlight, every promo deal, and every ounce of protection the league has to offer. And through it all, she kept her head down. She didn't complain. She stayed quiet while they turned her into a punching bag, literally and politically. But now, the silence is over. Because Caitlin just exposed the fact that this was never really about her talent, or even about growing the league the right way. It's been about control from the start, and making sure only certain players get the spotlight, no matter who's actually bringing in the fans. They gave the mic to Griner. They built entire campaigns around her comeback. And while Caitlin was breaking records and pulling in millions of new fans, the league was busy pretending she didn't exist. And the more you look at it, the more it becomes clear they were never going to let her win. Not because she couldn't, but because she wasn't one of them. So yeah, the Golden Girl just went rogue, and what she said might have pushed the league too far, and we're here for it. Right after the WNBA dropped Caitlin Clark from the All-Star starter list, they went full PR mode for Brittney Griner. She got the ESPN packages, the branded highlight reels, the media day interviews. Every camera in the room was suddenly pointed at her, like they were relaunching her as the face of the league. Meanwhile, Caitlin's the one actually selling out arenas, breaking attendance records, and pulling in fans who've never watched a WNBA game in their life. We're talking viral level popularity every week. People are flying out just to see her play. But when it came time to highlight the players who are actually moving the needle for this league, the ones bringing in new eyes, new money, new deals, they acted like she didn't even exist. Like her impact was just a side note. And the thing is, everybody sees it, even the reporters. In this clip, Caitlin's being interviewed after a game, and the reporter literally tells her to her face that she's the reason Indiana's season ticket sales are at an all-time high.
In full swing. I heard that season tickets are going like blazes in Indiana. Have you heard that rumor?
I have heard that rumor. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think they're selling pretty well.
Clark is also part of the reason why a record 18.9 million viewers tuned in to this year's NCAA championship game, making women's basketball must-see TV. One of the really great things about this season has been watching all of the little kids, most of them little girls, who are so inspired to play basketball because of you. What does that mean to you?
I think that's the reason you do it, and just to see them scream your name or have your jersey on, that's something that never gets old.
Now here's where it gets real shady. In ESPN's mid-season player rankings, Caitlin dropped from her preseason number 1, 4 spot down to number 9. And instead of giving her credit for the pressure she's playing under, every game sold out, every move dissected, she got quietly bumped down the list. And you already know Brittney Griner was sitting comfortably near the top. Like the narrative was pre-written. And if you think this was just about performance, be serious. Because even with that drop in rank, Caitlin is still the reason people are tuning in. And when the league tries to brush it off with their usual, we're honoring veterans excuse, it honestly feels insulting. And now, she's making it clear she's done playing their PR game. After another game where people were more focused on who shoved her than the plays she made, Caitlin got asked about the pressure she's been under, how it feels when everything's turning into a storyline she didn't sign up for. And instead of sticking with the usual, I'm just here to hoop answer, she paused and let something real slip. Here's the clip.
She felt that frustration, that you all were feeling that frustration. So what did you see from her and able to really lead that charge?
I mean, she brings that energy every single day, so really happy for her.
Because Caitlin's not out here talking just to hear herself. She picks her words for a reason. So when she paused, looked a little fed up, and actually said she was frustrated, that wasn't random. That was her way of saying, yeah, I see what's going on, and I'm not playing along anymore. And here's what's even more telling. She's never called out the players who fouled her, never dragged anyone by name. Even reporters pushing her to speak on the respect issue get shut down. She just steers it back to her team, her performance, or gets real about wanting to keep the focus on basketball. But fans see through all of that. They see a league bending over backward to protect certain players, while treating Caitlyn like she's supposed to just grin and take it. And they're tired of it. Case in point, this comment blowing up on social media. Never watched a game until Caitlyn arrived. I'm certain there are millions of people who are in the same boat. That's not just hype from fans. That's literally the numbers talking. Make it make sense. But if you think that's petty, wait till you hear what the league did next. Because what the league did next wasn't just petty. It was calculated. They handed the spotlight on a silver platter to Brittney Griner. As y'all probably already know, ever since Brittney Griner got back from that whole Russian prison situation, the WNBA has been in full-blown promo mode. They've been pushing her like she's the league's comeback queen or something. Here's a quick moment from her post-swap ESPN interview, where they frame her return as this emotional redemption arc for the whole league. The vibe? She's been through it. Now she's the face.
But I would have rather been in a 2-a-day dying, and than to be where I was. So just looking forward to being back to that. Am I exactly where I want to be? No, but I'm on the right track to getting there. That's for sure. I will say that.
And here's the thing. No one's saying Brittney didn't go through something. That situation overseas was serious. But let's not ignore what's actually happening here. They're choosing the comeback story over the one who's actually keeping the lights on. Meanwhile, Caitlyn's being shoved mid-court, hit with flagrant fouls that don't get called. And when I say fouls, they're a lot. Just check out these highlights from a creator commenting on how much she gets fouled in the games, and they make it seem normal.
All of this stuff adds up. People always want to just use like the really big fouls that don't get called. It's like, oh my God, can you believe this wasn't going to get called? The reason why I'm really trying to highlight this is because this is what goes on all game. Every single game. Every single possession. It's endless. And it will wear you down. Wear you down.
It's like they're trying to push her out without ever having to say it out loud. And the fans are seeing straight through it. There's a comment going around that honestly says it better than any headline ever could. I thought I was self-destructive until I found out about the WNBA. A rookie comes along and increases the value of her team, increases attendance and TV viewership, and helps them get a better TV contract. Then they cut her like shark bait. Allowing so many flagrant fouls against Clark exposes the plot behind the scoring table. And that's not just dramatic. That's the truth. Right after the draft, when she had everyone's attention, when the WNBA was having its biggest splash in years, ESPN deliberately skipped her in their primetime post-draft interviews. No sit-down, no intimate spotlight, nothing. This is the same rookie who just set NCAA records, and somehow ESPN treated her like a bench warmer. She already did the pre-draft sit-down, so don't act like she wasn't available, which makes the post-draft silence even louder. Here's the clip from the pre-draft media day, just to remind everyone what the league passed up when they chose to ghost her instead of ride with her.
Caitlyn, the question I get about you all the time is how will your game transcend into the WNBA? How do you see that fit?
I think the biggest thing is my passing, and I think that's kind of what people overlooked at times in college, is like people just love the scoring so much, and don't get me wrong, I love shooting the ball, but I think that's the biggest thing, and obviously being surrounded by so much talent, no matter where I end up, is like the league is loaded with so many people, and I think that's something that I've always had a knack for from a very young age. I grew up playing soccer and understanding angles and seeing the game before, it even happens.
And while Caitlyn was being ghosted by the networks, Angel Reese was landing endorsement deals left and right. This is the same Angel who's been caught throwing shade in interviews, fouling players mid-court, and turning every game into a media circus.
I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
So let me get this straight. Caitlyn gets sidelined for being too likable, too focused, and too unproblematic, while Angel's out here auditioning for a reality show, and that's what they want to promote. And when you start looking at the money, it gets even clearer. Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese, two rookies carrying the league's attention, are making just $76,000 to $80,000 a year. That's all you get, even if you're saving the sport. Meanwhile, Someone like Brittney Griner is sitting on a supermax deal worth $215,000 a year. And that's after she already took a 32% pay cut. Like, let that sink in. And here's the wildest part. When Brittney went over to Russia for more money, people were dragging the WNBA left and right for not paying their stars enough. Even the news had something to say about that mess.
Let's remember why she went to Russia. She went to Russia because they don't make enough money here based on their talents to support themselves. So after a harrowing year, Ms. Griner finally returning to the court, but she's going to take a pay cut to do it after 9 months of wrongful detainment in Russia.
It all starts adding up a little too well. The league wants a very specific type of face attached to its brand. And if you don't fit that mold, you either get sidelined or silenced. And yes, I'm talking about identities too. Let's not pretend like this is new. Candace Wiggins said years ago that she was bullied out of the league, not for her talent, but because she didn't fit in. The minute she joined Minnesota, she claimed she became a target. Why? Because she didn't play by the league's unspoken image rules. Don't be too feminine, don't be too visible, and definitely don't be straight.
For the first time in an extensive interview, former WNBA player Candace Wiggins said the league's culture was full of bullying and jealousy. Wiggins told the San Diego Union Tribune that she was frowned upon as a straight woman, claiming 98% of WNBA players are gay, adding, "People were deliberately trying to hurt me all of the time. I'd never been called the B word so many times in my life than I was in my rookie season. I'd never been thrown to the ground so much." The message was, "We want you to know we don't like you." Wiggins believed her pride in being a woman didn't fit well in the culture.
Here's how a WNBA sports journalist put it. And BTW, she also flipped the narrative on her and claimed other players haven't had the same complaint.
But I think all the players are saying, look, if you're saying this is a culture, this is something that it happens to everybody in the league or is league-wide all the time, that's something they, want to comment on because all the people that I've talked to said that hasn't been there.
And now we're seeing it all over again with Caitlyn. Same dynamic, different faces. As y'all know, she's dating Connor McCaffrey, and whether people want to admit it or not, that alone makes her an outlier in a league that's quietly built its image around LGBTQ players and politics. I mean, she's openly talked about her boyfriend in interviews, and in case you missed it, here's the clip.
Yeah. Will Bay be here? Who? Is Bay gonna be here? No, he's working. Yeah. Yeah, I'm flying solo. I better get used to it, man. This is the pro. This is my job.
So why does Brittney get treated like royalty and Caitlyn like a punching bag? Angel Reese can yell in Caitlyn's face. Chennedy Carter can literally blindside her with a dirty hit. And the WNBA just lets it slide. One comment said it best. Caitlin Clark is literally getting assaulted and battered on the court, and the refs always miss it even though they are looking at them. And it really does come down to that. It's not about fairness. It's not about safety. It's about who fits their image and who they're trying to humble. And if you think the WNBA is gonna just let that slide, watch how far they'll go to protect Brittney, even if it means tearing Caitlyn down in front of the world.